I think King Kendrick made a good comment when he said police don't arrest other police officers. And you want to ask yourself all why these murders have been solved. That's a pretty good point. And I think that it's rudimentary, but as rough as that is, I think you're on point. Cops don't want to arrest other cops, and cops don't want to admit that maybe their organization was corrupt.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
I was not a part of any gang. I grew up around a bunch of GDs. Those are gangster disciples. But I went to school. I didn't fuck with those dudes. I don't know. I beat up a couple guys in public and got away with it. Let's be honest. Most men have. To me, that doesn't make sense. Look, if Vegas was a completely desolate place on fight night, I might believe the theory, but it wasn't. And anybody
Uh,
who's driven through Las Vegas for more than 30 minutes understands that at lunch hour it's bad, let alone fight night.
okay, so anyway, Elga Villain, welcome to the show. Says, yeah, I'm not trolling, but just evidence driven. Well, so are we. And so far, I have seen zero evidence other than a bunch of talk, no witnesses, no witness identification at the scene of the crime to ever prove Orlando Anderson did anything. The best case they have is extremely circumstantial in the fact that they're trying to tie up the guy who was beat up earlier that night to the person that killed him when there's not a single ounce of proof or evidence that that person was even there on site. So you talk about being evidence driven. Show me the piece of evidence. Show me one single piece of evidence that somebody that was an eyewitness to the killing of Tupac Shakur identified Orlando Anderson in any kind of a lineup whatsoever.
And I'd like to add that people add to this argument the Lakewood Mall and all the accounts of the Lakewood Mall. I want to say this to people. I haven't heard two stories of the Lakewood Mall sound the same yet. Even Bobby Ladd and Tim Brennan came out and contradicted their own book on the Lakewood Mall. But the thing about the Lakewood Mall is no matter how many people talk about it, it's based on rumor. You still can't point out the month that it happened. But it
And
definitely gets us off track because you know what everybody is not looking at right now that Reggie Wright has been arrested. They're not looking at the Pattons. Nobody is questioning the Pattons right now. And I would
yep.
wonder, you know, I would wonder if law enforcement are currently looking into the Pattons. And I think that it's a subject that nobody's talking about right now. Do you have an opinion on that? Do you think that they could be in? Would you want to speculate on the Pattons?
Well, I mean, here's what. Well, I mean, let's put this in perspective for a minute. No one knew that they were investigating the right since 2013. No one knew that they were, investigating those guys. So to sit there and say and be, we're kind of blind. Do we know if they're currently investigating Pat? We don't know. We don't know. And they could be. And but then again, on the other hand, I think with the right indictments, I mean, I think there's a lot of things they discovered along the way that would lead them down to an investigation. I mean, my God, it took them, they were catching these guys making these drug deals and making these money laundering decisions back in 2013, 2014. They decided not to put a prosecution on it until 2017. That's 3 years later. They had enough evidence in 2013 and 2014 to put these guys away. But there was some reason why they decided to wait. I think one of the reasons they decided to wait was to see how long it would be and how much more information they could get on them. So, are they investigating the patents? They could be. I mean, there's no reason why they necessarily wouldn't be.
And I want to question publicly too, because I know Mike Dorsey has seen it. They put out an interview with the Pattons. RJ went out, spent money, got the best body language expert in the country almost, if not the best. Had them analyzed. We put a video up that's gotten more views than them, yet nobody's calling for the Pattons to take a polygraph. Nobody's coming out to rebut the video. And what that's saying to me, you can't put a video out and have it rebutted and you just remain silent. to me, the silence is accepting it that, yeah, we got him on it. Because if it was me that someone tried to rebut and I knew I was right, I would go after them. And another good point is, why are they interviewing the Pattons if they ruled them out anyway? That it's to me, I've always wondered where that interview stemmed from.
Well, the other thing too is I'm noticing here somebody said that Greg Kading said that he interviewed Little Half Dead. Well, if he did, he certainly hasn't produced any proof of that. And if he did half a good a job of interviewing Little Half Dead as he did the Pattons, please put it online. This is a request. Please put that interview online because we'd love to take a look at what that guy has to say too. So, and Kading said a lot of shit that's not true, provably not true. And he said it publicly that's not true. And that's why he got smart and he's not saying anything now because most of what he says can be disproven. All right, so let's see here.
Spoiler alert, though, what are people going to expect from a Little Half Dead interview? A confession? He's going to
Yeah,
deny it,
really.
and he's going to make baseless claims and ad hominem attacks against other people just to downplay his role that I feel that he's involved in. And we appreciate you guys checking out the live streams. If you want to check back in, same time, same bat channel, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on this channel. We do it every Sunday. We talk to you, we ask questions. So, you know what? In advance, if you want to get a really good question, hit us up on the promo. I do a promo before every one of these. Hit up a really good, thought out question. You know, we're not here to pick sides, we're not here to gang up on people.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
What up, shut up?